Hello everyone, welcome to the Meth Lab. We are here with Dennis from Independent, showing us some very cool technology from SmartAV. It's called the Tango controller. And what we've seen so far is a very interesting and unique control surface that I think has some very cool features that are apart from other control surfaces. So Dennis, why don't you show us a little bit about this wonderful piece of gear here.
Sure. Well, the Tango basically comes in two different units. You have a main unit that has your transport controls, jog wheel, 8 faders, and a 22-inch touch-sensitive screen. What we have beside it over here is basically an extension. It has 12 faders on it, same touch screen, and you can also get another fader pack. You can either put on the right or on the left, doesn't matter, you set it up that way, for a total of 32 faders. That interfaces with Logic, Nuendo, Pro Tools, and Pyramix. It also can talk to the Fairlight Pixis video player.
I believe also Final Cut as well?
Yes, it also does Final Cut, yes. So we got basically the main sections of the touchscreen. You have your channel displays here for your 8 faders. You have your active section, monitor section towards the top. Up here you have some buttons we'll show you later. Then across the top, across both screens, we have what's called the Monarch. The Monarch is a very, very powerful tool. With the Tango, a lot of the stuff that you can do with the Tango is taken care of inside the Tango and is not, doesn't actually send the commands to the DAW, like grouping and different things you can do with the Monarch. So right now, what we show you some of the Monarch features is we're in what's called chair mode. Chair mode can be thought of as if you had a 120 channel mixer and you wanted to go to channel 50, you would slide your chair down to channel 50. It's kind of the same idea, but basically if you look here, we have 20 channels right now that are in yellow, and then the rest are all in blue. Yellow means that those faders those channels are showing up on the faders you have in front of you. So if you wanted to go to channel 24, what happens is it's like sliding your chair down. Channel 24 is now here with the rest of the channels up this way, and then the rest of the channels up that way. There's another mode that's called channel select mode. What happens is you come down here and turn the chair mode off. Then in any channel that you want in front of you, you just need to touch that segment in the arc, and what will happen is it will stack from the left-hand side to the right. So we just go in and say, why don't we make it 4, 6, 10, 13, 15 through 19, just need to slide, 24 through 27, and then 29 through, say, 35. So now, these are the segments that are in front of you. If you look up at the arc, you have 4, 6, 10, which is down here says 4, 6, 10, and they become yellow, showing you that those channels are now on your faders. Now, if you like this layout, you can do something else, what's called store them into an ergonomic setting. The ergonomic settings is there's 4 hard buttons on the actual controller. You just go to store, push one of the ergonomic settings. Now, that layout of channels in front of you has been stored into this ergonomic setting 1, which the light has now turned on. So now let's go back to chair, just to reset everything, bring everything back to the first 20. And now I want to get back to say that was my drum mix or my drum channels. All I have to do is hit recall, that ergonomic settings, everything jumps back. Now it's 4, 6, 10, 13, the way that we had just lined up a minute ago. You might need more than just the 4 hard buttons that are on the actual console, the actual controller. You also can go up here in any arc segment. Once you've chosen the channels you want, you hit store and touch any of the arc segments to store the ergonomic settings to that arc segment. So now we come out of store. Now I can either, if I go back to chair, I can either go back and grab those channels by hitting recall in the first ergonomic setting that we had, or we can go up and hit let's go back to chair. Oh, sorry. And I can hit recall and touch that arc segment that I stored it to earlier, which makes it extremely powerful. This is all done inside of the Tango and actually has really nothing to do with the DAW. It's really DAW independent. It's just ways of moving things, making your workflow faster without having to go over and grab your keyboard or mouse or move certain different stuff. Another really powerful thing with the ARC is we have these we call ARC modifiers down here in this. It's either write, read, isolate, mute, solo, unity, arm. So basically what you can do is, say I want to arm channels 9 through 12 for recording. So all I do is hold down arm, touch 9, slide to 12. Now it's put 9, 10, 11, and 12 in record ready. You can do the same thing with write. So you just go 9, slide all the way down, let it go, and now 9 through 12 are in write. And if you look up at the ARC, there's a red button on that says W, turns red, you're in write. Do the same thing with unity. Now if we look down at our faders, they're all at different levels. You say you want to send all your faders back to unity, you can either hit unity and actually just touch the fader segment or the ARC segment. It'll bring that one fader back. You can go it and slide down and it'll bring all of those, or you can hit unity and hit the all button and it moves all of your faders back to unity. You can do that with pans. You can do that with your EQ curves. Basically, any parameter that you could change, you could send back to Unity. Let's see, what would be? Let's go back to, let's look at the grouping on Tango. You can group faders, mutes, solos, EQ bands, really pretty much anything that you can touch and change on the Tango, you can group, and then by turning one knob or moving one fader, it'll affect many others. So what we do is, it's easy as this. Say we want to group these four faders together. You hit group, you touch the first fader. If that fader is already in a group, it's going to put the grouping into minus, so if you touch others, it will come out. But if it's not in a group, say let's go at a group, say we touch this one here, 5 is not in another group. It's already gone into plus because there's no group associated with it. So we got 5, we just touch 6, 7, and then we could go up here and actually slide our finger down the arc. So you don't actually have to touch the faders. Now when we come out of grouping, we grab that fader, and now if you look over there, see, what is it? 14 through 16 are grouped, and then 5, 6, and 7 are grouped. If you needed to change the relative gain or the relative level of each, all you do is touch 2 faders at the same time, change the relativity of them, let go, and now we're grouped with the relative change between the two. Then to come out, you just go put it into group, touch a fader that's already in a group, it goes into minus, and now those 4 faders are no longer in the group. We can do, like I said, we can do that with mutes, solos, really anything that the console can do.